Welcome to the Penny Bloom Podcast. Ain't another place that has got more bombast. Romp past your mom, dad's listening to Tomcats. Talking everything that make you sad. We don't want that. We're here to make you smile. Put your mind at ease. Peace, love, and bloom, and always praise Keanu Reeves. This what we about. This some weeding now. We'll talk until we can't no more, and then we peacing out. Alright, let's go. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome in to a most special episode of the Penny Bloom Podcast. I am Colton Robertson, and today I am joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Oh, what up, what up? I am so honored to be here on such a momentous occasion.
My friend, today will mark 59 movies, I believe, covered over the course of this last year.
Ooh.
From January 1st to December 30th, every Friday, we have covered 59 movies. I mean, not 59 every Friday, but every Friday we've covered one. And it's added up to 59 because we did a full week for 1994, 7 days, 7 pods.
Yes, I can say recording a podcast for 59 movies in the span of a year was a blast. If we had to do 59 movies every week, I don't think I'd be alive.
I don't think it would have been possible.
I actually don't think there's enough time in ever.
That would have to amount to far more than a week.
Be very short podcasts, but it's obviously momentous to complete the
50
of this whole journey.
Yeah, the whole journey.
But it is also
film.
momentous.
The journey through film, 52-year edition, is complete.
But it's even better that we get to do it with a movie that kind of both of us were like, oh shit, this is like an all-time goated movie here.
And it came out 9 months ago. And you know what?
Damn.
I'm going to be straight up with you. This is my favorite movie of all time.
It is top 3. That is without guarantee. I switch on the daily. As of right now,
yes,
it's this movie. It's this one. I'll go watch Interstellar. It'll switch for a little bit. I'll go watch some Star Wars. I'll be like, dang, I really love it. But man,
this is a new staple. This is a new staple to that top 5, and today we are covering everything, everywhere, all at once. Not literally. We mean the movie. We do not intend on covering everything.
Could be real life, though. In the movie, there is real life Michelle Yeoh watching the movie that we are watching.
True. They even show her on the promo carpet for Crazy Rich Asians.
We could just be in the version of ourselves that are just, we're just one of infinite.
We might just be covering everything, everywhere, all at once. Maybe this is a universal constant. The Penny Bloom Podcast.
I have to, and Scooby-Doo is the key to everything.
All of it.
And that's what we haven't realized yet.
The key.
It's been there, but we haven't realized why.
It's been the
it took us all the
multiversal
way
key. There's a reason Gangs of New York wasn't available on streaming that week. There's a reason we had Scooby-Doo.
That is crazy that it was forced into our hands.
It was.
It should have been the pick anyways. We just thought it was unfair.
Yeah, we do this whole thing in the spirit of competition. How are we going to compare Scooby-Doo, the single greatest film of all time? I know I said Everything Everywhere All at Once is my favorite, but that's only because Scooby-Doo is just kind of a given.
It's really unfair. It's just to compare to anything else.
It's just not fair. It's unfair to compare to everything, everywhere, all at once. But let's talk about this movie. I'm going to lay the groundwork for the folks. It was released March 25th, 2022, written and directed by Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert. The Daniels. I've long awaited this day where we discuss this film, my friend. Because I went and saw, this was a good one for me. I watched it in theaters twice. I've watched it outside of theaters now twice. It's one of those movies that's so good that I keep myself from watching it all the time so as to preserve the experience I have when I watch the movie.
I have yet to watch it and be like, notice any part of me that's like, I don't want to be watching this right now. I guess I only am on 3 or 4 though, but I don't think any number of watches can really be a bad thing here.
It can't.
I notice something new every time. Every time. I didn't know there's a shot. They're in a diner. It just focuses on a bagel straight up.
Mm-hmm.
Like straight up bagel, just right there. Or not a diner, I think like a break room or something like that.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, just cute little things. I don't know. Like
there's tons of little
like
foreshadowing shots, you know, before we even get introduced to the bagel, the everything bagel. We go to the Alphaverse where they're driving around in their minivan and the van drives past a little sign on the side of the road that says Hail Bagel.
Yes, I did notice that this time too.
Yeah.
So what's up with... So in the Alphaverse, I love the lore of this universe. I think I noticed the lore more this time instead of like the other times I watched. I'm like, oh, what I'm really in it for is like the payoff at the end and the family and the love.
The whole last
all of
hour keeps me in tears. It's insane.
Yeah, but this time I'm like, I want to figure out how this universe works. I want to know all the little
Ins and
details
outs
of everything. Yeah,
the physics,
and
if you will.
So it's kind of like a mashup of like Ready Player One / Matrix, where the Alpha Wayman, he's Morpheus really, and then our Michelle Yeoh is Neo, the one here, obviously but then it's like the Ready Player One in the aspect of you're in like they're in the back of the van and they got the VR sort of, it's instead of VR, it's just consciousness switching. So I'm like, okay. But then I'm like thinking, why are they hailing the bagel in this Alphaverse here? You know?
I think
it's not an everything bagel. Is there a difference between the bagel and an everything bagel? Is there a white bagel, a nothing bagel? Or
there's much to think about.
The same?
The thing for me is that we see throughout a couple of these universes, or at least one when we are first introduced to Jobu Tupaki, is that the followers she's obtained take over the bodies of the people in whatever universe they're going to. So I think that's what happened in the Alphaverse. Like they just went ahead and ransacked the whole place.
Okay, that makes more sense. That makes way.
And
more sense.
it was where Jobu's life started.
Also, so Evelyn was the genius in the Alphaverse who figured all of this out in the first place.
She's Rick Sanchez.
Yeah. Oh, she's everything. I mean, that's the thing, is that there's so many analogies to make here. She's like everyone. She's just every badass crammed into one. I love how she's so bad at everything. She has the potential for just literally limitless power.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the explanation, you know?
You are living your worst self, Evelyn.
So your mind is just capable
of so much.
Everything.
Infinite growth.
And man, so Evelyn finds a way to link your consciousnesses, right? And then she dies because, wait, is it known how she died in the Alphaverse?
I suppose, I think,
because Wayman had her ashes there whenever they were having their last moment.
She was murdered because he says every version of you I've ever met dies. They were all killed. You know, like that's what he says. And she's like, what?
Wait a minute. They all had to die in every other universe so that they could live solely in that one that they're in now at the end. But the Alphaverse, it makes sense if she's the first one that has to die, because it's the Alphaverse. It's the first where everything links. So it's the first one that has to go.
And it
Maybe.
was the Joy who became Jobu Tupaki.
Shit.
It was her mom. And Alpha Wayman is her dad. The original Joy who became Jobu Tupaki is from the Alphaverse.
And it was, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's confusing because, you know, they are all the versions of themselves at a point. Like,
but the first
step towards Jobu Tupaki,
the birth of Jobu,
yes.
like the
birth of Jobu was the Alphaverse version of Joy.
Boom. Wow. Set all of this into.
Got the marker in hand. I'm talking like a
feels important here. Yeah.
You know, I got the I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm like, I don't know. I got the whole thing going on. I'm a little high. But this movie, it was an all-time theater experience for me. You know, I remember seeing the previews for it and being like, oh shit, I gotta go catch this. Opening night, March 25th. I check. Not available. Not a big enough budget or production cred to be streamed in theaters in smaller markets. So, like, I kept that shit on. I checked every week. I was like, as soon as that shit is available for me to see, I'm going to go see that shit, because I heard nothing but fucking fantastic things. And then it finally showed up. I finally got a chance to watch that shit. And let me tell you, man, I fucking loved it. It is top 1 theater experience for me. And that says a ton, because I've seen all the epic, I mean, like Avengers Infinity War, No Way Home, these are obviously epic theater experiences. Every Star Wars movie I've seen in theaters, I'm seeing a Star Wars movie in theaters. That's extremely special to me. This topped them all. Simply because I'd never been so in awe of a movie on the first watch of ever. Like, the entire last 50 minutes. And I'm already like, oh shit, this premise is incredible. The acting is phenomenal. I love the character work here. And then the last 50 minutes, I don't stop crying. I'm surrounded by people, bro. Do you know how vulnerable I have to be to cry in a room full of people for 50 minutes straight? That's what this movie does to you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really, what's the 50-minute mark? What happens whenever it
starts,
bam.
It's whenever she shows her the bagel. And
okay, what's happening outside at the same time? Is it her?
It's Wayman, and her having a face off there, and she stabs him.
Yeah,
he collapses and stuff like, and pretty much, I'll tell you, it was something I kind of wanted to save, but it is my breaking point when Wayman gives that speech. That's the point where, like,
his version of fighting.
I was already like tearing up, you know. I've got a couple tears coming, but when I start sobbing, it's I don't know what's going on, but I feel that somehow it's my fault. And let me tell you, man, Wayman doesn't deserve to have that feeling, bro.
No.
That man's the sweetest man alive. Every time I watch that shit, I'm getting teary-eyed talking about it. That shit hurts my soul every time. Because, like, if you have anxiety and you've experienced depression or anything like this, a feeling of just guilt is something that just general guilt for existing is something you've probably felt. And hearing him be like, I don't know what's going on. I can't help but feel that somehow it's my fault. It was like he pried into my mind the first time I watched that and was just hitting my fucking amygdala like, fucking cry, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, oh, that shit just fucks me up on a whole other level.
Thing is, he is the least involved person in that universe. Everyone else that's surrounding him knows exactly what's going on. This is all happening to him right now. Like, and I mean,
His wife
I
just stabbed
that
him.
is, yeah.
For him to get up after that and protect her from guns, immediately, like, what a fucking sweetheart to be like, hey man, she probably had a reason for that shit. I probably deserved that. Do you know how bad that fucks me up? I'm like, oh my God, this poor man. And he's such a, like, my favorite little thing in this movie is at the very end, whenever it's the prologue, it's the all at once of the title, whenever they go back to the IRS and they're walking through the lobby and Evelyn pulls him close for a kiss. They like press against each other with their foreheads and shit. Cutest shit ever seen in my life. All-time favorite moment. But the reason it's so nice is because in that very spot at the beginning of the movie, he longed for a kiss from his wife because he saw an elderly couple kissing in that very spot. He saw them kissing there and was like, God, I wish I had that. And then at that very spot later in the movie, he gets it. And it's like, yes.
The first time I put that one together, this watch, the first time I'm like, yeah, he, like whenever he saw the elderly couple kiss, I'm like, okay, yeah, he's just longing for it. I didn't think anything of it. And whenever they kiss at the end, I thought it was just a way
great pull through. Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, like, they love each other. They're happy even with their situation. And then this time I'm like, I look at the kiss, the elderly kiss, and I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, wait a minute.
This is where,
because I know the ending now. I know the ending kind of well enough to like know where everything's going at this watch. So I'm like, oh my God, this is there. And then like, just so many more things. Like, it's insane that a movie can be so complicated and convoluted and like
all these moving parts.
Like, what is going on half of the time? You don't really like. It's insane. But it all like somehow makes sense on the first watch, like already. Like, even though it's confusing a little bit on the first watch, you get the big like, oh,
because at its heart, that's what's so fantastic about this. This is the perfect way to utilize the multiverse to tell a story. There will never be a multiverse movie as good as this. There has not been a multiverse movie as good as this because they don't use it to go, wow, look at the multiverse. They use it as a device to tell the story they want to tell. It's not just like anything can happen. That's like the point of this movie is anything can happen. And that's why we should choose to be here with each other. Like, yeah,
you are literally living the worst version of your life. And she still chooses to do so. She knows that for a fact. She saw her every other life where it was spectacular and she could go anywhere. No. Like, all I'm thinking during the movie is like, there's a version of me that's like an NBA player. There's a version of me that's a freaking, astronaut. Everything, like,
everywhere.
But I'm also a rock that's doing nothing. Like, there's a lot more boring versions of me out there, probably. Even though there's a lot cooler things, I'm cool with where I'm at.
Right.
I'm cool.
That's what's fantastic about this movie, man. Like, at the heart of it, you have it's just a movie about this family. It is a family drama wrapped in a sci-fi multiversal epic, with a fallen angel sort of tragedy intertwined within it with joy. And like at the heart of this movie obviously is Evelyn and Joy's relationship. There's a shot very early on in the movie that I think is crucial whenever after Evelyn has sent her off in her car at the very beginning, and instead of saying like I love you, it was like, you're getting fat. And whenever Joy pulls off and she's sobbing, it sets up everything that happens over the course of this movie, like it is officially about their dynamic from there on out. It's going to be centered around them. And I absolutely love the performances. Michelle Yeoh as Evelyn is masterful. Stephanie Hsu as Joy, fucking fantastic. Ki Kwan as Wayman is brilliant. And I mean, like, the only thing I'd ever seen him in prior to this was fucking Indiana Jones Temple of Doom, where he plays Short Round, the little companion for Indiana Jones the whole fucking time. Like, he's like 8 in that movie. It's fucking fantastic.
Is that him doing all the stunts?
No,
or maybe not all of them, but like
there's a really epic, like, he swings it around his neck and he like flings it. He got that on like the second take. That was like he pulled that off. But no, actually, his stunt double during that scene is one of the dudes who has something shoved up his ass later in the movie.
Also, an aspect literally anything.
I'm talking about how this movie made me cry for the last 50 minutes. And there's a whole action sequence based around somebody trying to stick shit up his butt.
And two people do so and make them super ninjas and capable to fight. And what ends them is taking their butt plugs out and letting them fall there's a universe where hot dogs for fingers, and the way you show love to one another is just bite them off. Is that a one-time thing? Is that a fine? Is that it? I'm curious about that. Like, whenever you start to bite the hot dogs and they start ketchup and mustard in, is that just their orgasm, or is that like their death? And like, it's a one-time, it's over after that. It's insane that I can even talk about that during this movie.
Right. No,
is the ketchup and mustard orgasm or not? And then on the other hand, I'm like, oh yeah, and the relationship between Evelyn and Joy is one of my favorite relationships in movie history.
Exactly.
Or their storyline. It's like one of the most beautiful stories it's all interconnect. Like,
I mean, let me tell you, I don't know of a better movie antagonist, I'll call her, than Jobu Tupaki. Like, that, the way they introduced this character at the very get-go, where she's like walking along and she's scratching her nails against the side and they're changing colors and shit. She explodes Evelyn's mind and you're like, oh shit, this is someone not to be fucked with. She goes and she does the click, 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 like clicking through realities by turning her head, and then she lands in Joy and you're like, fuck! No! You're like, wait, okay, shit just got real.
Could have been someone random, just some random multiversal enemy.
Just added a whole other layer to it that makes this movie without it, this movie isn't what it is, not even close.
So Joy created the bagel, though.
How?
I guess her mother linked consciousnesses across the multiverse. So, like, am I really one to be like, oh, how did Joy make this bagel?
No, it's actually really interesting with the, because I've watched the director's commentary, and they've done they explained some things that they didn't want in the movie that were kind of like necessary from everyone they asked. They were like, all right, well, I really don't get this. Can you try to explain this? And one of those scenes was the creation of Jobu Tupaki. It's really exposition heavy where they're like, yes, originally you developed this technology, and like originally that was not supposed to be a part of the movie. Originally it was just they didn't want express reasons for everything. They wanted to leave it up for so the creation of the everything bagel, they are not concerned with how that happened. It happened.
That's cool.
It's
honestly even better. It's even better.
Oh yeah, because they were like, we're not going to try to give this a logical explanation. There isn't one. It does there just can't be. So fuck it. She's a multiversal being who is all powerful. Fuck it. Yeah, she can go ahead and create a giant bagel that can apparently manifest itself wherever she wishes for it to manifest.
And the fact that it's just a bagel, it's an everything, a literal everything bagel.
I put everything on a bagel. And you know what happens when you put everything on a bagel. Like, the delivery that she has throughout that entire, like, that is what I was going to say, though, when I got started on Jobu Tupaki, is that scene where Evelyn meets Jobu Tupaki for the first time. She walks
down
off,
the hallway.
yes,
And,
walks out of the elevator with a pig on a leash. She's wearing like an Elvis costume, and it's like, what the fuck's going on here? And Evelyn's like, Joy, what are you wearing? Like, she's just bewildered by the, like, it's such a great introduction to that villain for Evelyn. And then the way this movie utilizes action sequences is fucking brilliant. That whole ensuing action sequence after that with how she's altering reality just where it is the first time. Is it that I can't be here, or that I'm not allowed to be here? And she was like, all right, well, I'm just going to blow up your head.
I don't think you understand the word can't. Like, every fight or action sequence, like, some of them were just fights for fights. You know, like, very little, though. Most of them had a deeper meaning behind them. And, like, some of them, you know, the very first ones, it was just like, okay, he can do that. Like, that's the first one, fighting the security guards with the fanny pack. Whenever, you know, Wayman just goes off. Jackie Chan, or Bruce Lee, Jackie mixed with, like, every cool...
In the director's commentary, they say that fanny pack fight is Jackie Chan inspired out the ass. They're like... That's like so Jackie. Like, Jackie Chan is like the funny version of fighting, but he makes it badass. Right.
Like, you never think of a fanny pack as a weapon until you see it used as like a weapon, or like
when he just sits down and fills it with the rocks, and he's not even sitting; he's doing like a wall
propping
sit.
himself up. Yes, and then the slow roll up of the sleeve,
sir,
drops him on the floor.
Whatever you're thinking about doing, don't do it.
Gotta love the jumping, like how they have to jump. You know, like, didn't have to. It could have just been like, yep, you press this button, you're gonna go to that mine. But like making them just do something weird before, like
something that in any universe it would be random as fuck for you to be doing this at any given moment, so that we have the
you gotta be truly random.
Well, that's the thing too. Is it got like I was thinking to myself when I was watching the movie the other night, and I was like, okay, but when their goal is do something random, is anything thereafter truly random?
Or maybe it's do something that is random to the universe you are in currently. Okay. Something that's so
like
crazy.
There's like a rational algorithm here.
It's like, that's kind of the way I was thinking of it. Is like, okay, they're trying to jump from one to the other. So the end goal brain is just continuing their life until this one enters it. But it's like the connection needs to be made. And then, like, to find themselves on the map of the multiverse, it's like, oh, yep, he's eating the chapstick now. Like, you know, or like, it's like, yep, lock in. So, like, that's kind of how I view it. It's like, oh, yep,
that's what universe is in. Okay, I see what you're talking about.
Or something like, I don't know. It's like a locator.
I dig it. I dig that. I never thought about it like that. I will now. That's a pretty good way to go about it. But yeah, obviously all the different versions of characters are pretty epic. I think that obviously Joy and Evelyn, their stuff is very cool and very obvious. But Gong Gong and Deirdre have potentially the most fun alternate selves there are.
Mecha Dad. I don't know. I want to make like a Alpha Dad. What, I don't know what.
Alpha Gong Gong.
Alpha Gong. I mean, like, I feel like I want to call him like a. I'm trying to find like Mecha Godzilla, but like for him, and it's
Mecha
like
Gong Gong.
I guess Mecha Gong. I don't know.
Mecha Gong.
Like, that's the. While I'm watching the movie, I'm crying my eyes out, and then I'm laughing the next minute because like something just so ridiculous is happening.
Well, and like during the most like emotional part of the movie, like we're getting the whole montage of Evelyn and Wayman's love for each other, and like she's having a memory of all the best moments she's had with him. They're tearing up, and they're like, I'm fucked up at that point, you know, like I'm not doing okay. I'm not very hot in the tear department. That shit is coming. And then like it cuts to Jobu in the fucking realm she's created for the bagel going, Evelyn, bagel, Like,
yeah.
And I'm like, come on, bro. I'm like, don't do that to me. Now I feel embarrassed.
Yeah. And now like you have Alpha Wayman that is dying and having his last moments with Evelyn, or in Evelyn of whatever, across whatever. He's having his last moments. He's dying. Alpha Wayman is dying. And then like regular Wayman just wakes up and is like, what happened?
Was I Raccoon Wayman?
Yeah, and it's like, man, I'm like, I'm crying, but like, I know I want to laugh, and it's like, oh shit, like, I don't know,
It reminded me of that Mickey Mouse clip where he's like, he like runs over to Minnie who's down on the ground. And goes, what happened? That's what when you said that, that's what my brain went. What happened?
Wow.
What?
Did I sound like Mickey Mouse there?
No, yeah, I mean a little bit, but
you connected to freaking Mickey Mouse universe.
The little sound effect there is a fucking disposable camera charging up.
That's sick.
They were like practical as fuck with as much of it as they could possibly be. There's like
I like that.
Yeah, I like
that. Oh,
that
the
too.
trivia for this movie is probably sick.
It probably is. I mean, like, shit, we were talking about the action sequences, and it's so easy to go everywhere with this movie because it's just, it's all so fucking random. But, I mean, that Jobu action sequence fresh off the elevator when she's meeting Evelyn and the monologue she gives there when she approaches her is fucking incredible. She starts singing the On a Bagel, and then the fucking like, oh, that shit was so nice. And she's got a tear running down her face as she's explaining her, because like this whole time we're thinking she's gonna try and kill Evelyn, like obviously, and then she's like, nah, man, I just don't want to die alone.
Yep.
I need someone to see what this is like for me. All of this was a cry for help, literally, just on the highest level possible.
She literally, like, I just wanted you to show me that there was another way, is what she said. She was so convinced that this was the only way for her to go out in, like, peace. Like,
she gets Evelyn for a while. Like, there for, like, a couple minutes of the movie, Evelyn's like, oh, you know what? This shit really doesn't matter. She stabs Wayman. She takes the baseball bat and starts smashing in the laundromat. She's like, fuck it, man. None of this shit even matters. I'm going to go ahead and do whatever the fuck I want. And then what she has to do is show her the other way. And what's amazing is that showing her the other way was listening to Wayman. Like,
she had to learn to fight like him. She showed, like, I always forget, like, Joy's like watching this like unfold, like in front of her too. Like in every, she's like, they're watching it happen everywhere. Like it's not just in the mall or wherever whatever building they were in. Like
she's
where the bagel
all
was.
of her every time this movie cuts, that's where she is. That's where they are in that moment. Like whenever they're paralleling this epic fight that she's having with everybody, where it's the empathy fight is what they called it. Like,
oh, that's cool.
Like whenever
that's a cool name.
Yeah, she shows them what they want the most, and they cut to her being in that universe on the guy who was controlled by the raccoon's head, pulling his hair and shit. That's where she is in that moment. That's where she took him, because that's the power of Jobu and the power of Evelyn. Like, she took them there to show them, hey, you ain't alone in this shit. I got you, okay?
One of them was gag my mouth and spank me.
And that was
one
actually
of them. During the climax of the movie. Wow.
That was the director. Like... Dan Scheinert is the guy who gets his ass. He's the bondage guy.
Not my bag of, not my cup of tea, not my bag. But it would be really cool to say that happened to you from Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, like, if Michelle Yeoh's like, hey, got this proposition for you, I'm going to be like, just for the story of it? Okay.
Michelle Yeoh, if you're listening, I don't care. You're just like, I just want to meet you in any way, whatever has to happen.
She's such a sweetheart, man. I fucking love her in this movie.
I'm obsessed with two people right now, Andrew Garfield and Michelle Yeoh. And I feel like now,
we're essentially the same person.
I mean, I have a
plan.
Yeah, I have a plan to. We're watching the entire MCU in release order right now. We're only on Thor, so we're only on the third movie. But like in between, I will throw in Andrew Garfield movies and get his whole collection through, and then Michelle Yeoh. I would watch like a lot of just Michelle Yeoh, and then once I'm done, and then also in between there will be comic book movies and comics and everything. I'm just gonna have so much. Goodness,
I'm so
coming up. So
yeah, dude, it's fucking fantastic. You gotta watch if you're going for Michelle Yeoh discography or filmography. Discography, that's funny. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, epic kung fu movie, because that's kind of what she's legendary for, is her kung fu movie performances. Which is why it's so badass whenever in this movie she does the kung fu shit.
Is it in costume that like they used? I was wondering if like the where she got trained, Pinky Kung Fu and regular Kung Fu, that was like a callback to anything. No,
it was a lot of the Kung Fu sequences in this movie are just homages to classic Kung Fu movies. Like
it felt very classic. Like it felt
You're thinking of Kill Bill Volume 2
or was it 30? Maybe that's what it is.
You're thinking of Kill Bill. You're thinking of Pai Mei and Kill Bill Volume 2, because like it had a very similar look to it, a very similar set.
Punching through the board, where she was punching the board whenever she was being trained there. Oh yeah, no, that's what I was.
Well, and just like the outrageousness of it, specifically the Pinky one felt more influenced by Pai Mei because he did the whole beard thing where he like.
True. For some reason, 36 Chamber was popping up.
There are plenty of homages to that sort of kung fu movie just in there, like insert shots, like whenever Wayman whips out the umbrella in the elevator and like we go down to the corner and we see the umbrella spinning out towards him and then he spins it up towards the camera. Those are insert shots and they're fucking awesome. Like just here's quick little action pieces with the props, and they do it with the fanny pack. They do it with
the glasses. He's so smooth with with a lot of like he's so smooth. It's just so smooth with it, and it's obviously they would be. They picked the best version of themselves
for this scenario.
The situation. Yeah. It's perfect for the situation. Yeah.
Just had to eat some chapstick.
So if she does throw up after her mind gets fractured a couple times, and she gets through it, but like. Do you think they ever like throw up just from all the weird or crazy stuff they eat or like do? Like she drank an entire 2-liter of orange soda
very quickly, and then had to do a lot of action immediately after.
If I were to drink a 2-liter of soda right now, I'm not getting it all down.
Oh, certainly not. That's what's crazy. I guess is that like that
if I have the motivation. That it would make me become Super Saiyan?
I might get 3/4 of the way down and then be like, like spit all of it out,
Right?
Like, there's no way I can accomplish that, let alone do some pretty epic action set pieces immediately after.
Got all that orange soda in your stomach and you're flipping around and doing kung fu?
I promise your tummy feel funny.
Man, I mean, it I don't know. But it's such a... While I was watching... girlfriend came down, slept a little bit. She didn't watch it. She just wanted to kind of
be around,
nap and not be alone. But she popped up. She woke up during some like loud parts, which was
there are
super funny.
Parts.
Yeah, it's like super funny for someone to pop into this movie in random parts.
They'll have no idea what's happening.
Every time she woke up, it was like, oh, you're going to be even more confused than you were last time. Like, I'm not even going to try to begin to explain what's happening because you're just going to have to watch the whole movie eventually. No, okay, whatever.
You can't tell someone before they come into this movie at all. Like, there's no way to explain it. they've been like, I've been asked what is everything, like my parents, because they know I fucking love this movie because I've made it clear to them that I love this movie and I've recommended it on every scenario I can, and they are still yet to watch it. And I'm like, you're missing out. It is my favorite movie of all time. I have to be like, it's a really good family drama.
Fun for the whole family. I would love. I'm speaking. I don't know if I'd want to watch this movie with my parents, just for the dildo butt plug. I mean, I would want to watch it just to
see.
And it's like all about family too. I feel like it would just strengthen a family.
I just don't think there's. I don't think there's a place you can go wrong unless your parents are the most stubborn assholes of all time and go, well, this fucking sucks. You know, like I'm sorry. Like anyone who shows this to a parent and the parent goes, I don't get it. I'm sorry. This made me understand parenthood, and I don't have a kid. I was like, if I'm not riding for a kid like this, if I'm a parent, what am I doing?
Man, that's all it is. Is that we just got to pass down what we know onto our kids. So that's all it is until we have one.
Exactly.
It's just learning what we're gonna do whenever we do eventually got one. And a little miniature version of me. Oh God, a little miniature version of me running around.
It'll be the second most occurring guest on the podcast.
Yes, I will. From day one, he will be on. From
hello, little Jew. Hello, little Joe. Jew. Oof. Hello, little Joe. Well, that's exactly how I felt about it this week, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Little Joe.
Joe Jr.
Joe Jr.
Maybe not Joe Jr. I don't know if I want to do that.
JJ.
Ooh.
Jage.
Jarvis is actually my number one.
Jarvis
right now,
George. Oh, that's fucking hard.
And middle name Joe, so he could go by JJ.
Jarvis.
If he would like to. And Jarvis, George, I think, is just a cool name, and I love Vision, but I'm not going to call my kid Vision.
Jarvis makes more sense.
I like Jarvis. But that's kind of like number one right now for a boy.
Tell me, speaking of names, I'm just like, I noticed it for the first time in this watch. The butt plugs have the name. It's an award that Deirdre, the tax lady, got. Did you notice her full name on the plaques?
No.
It's Deirdre Beaubeardre.
Beaubeardre.
Yeah, like banana nana fofana fee fi fofana, like, but with Deirdre Beaubeardre.
Wow. And she got a big one too. She didn't just get the little butt plug award. There was one that dude was. He's a brave dude. That's a brave dude.
Anything for the Alphaverse, apparently.
Hey, you know what?
He's like, you know what? This isn't truly my body. Sorry,
that's
bro.
After I do
tomorrow,
this,
you're fucked.
Yeah, and after I do this, I become a super ninja. So like, it is worth. It is worth. Without it, they were fighting like little like slappy, like literally they couldn't fight. On the grand calculus of the universe.
Grand calculus of the multiverse.
Wrong word. Of the grand calculus of the multiverse, how much is one butt plug gonna really do to you?
If it's necessary, I suppose. But
what a movie!
They called that Schrodinger's butt plug. Because if you present a butt plug in a movie, it has to plug a butt. It will inevitably plug a butt.
You're right. One doesn't just show up.
You can't just be like, here's a butt plug, and then like never capitalize on that.
Full spread.
It's I remember I was in the theater and like there were audible gasps. People went like and some of it was horror, some of it was disbelief. Some of it was just like, I don't know what other sound to make right now. Like, I can't tell you enough. I will say, there was one person in my theater who laughed like way too much. Like in moments that were like, I'm like, man, you not really getting the tone of this part, huh? Like
I see
the rock part. I don't laugh during that, right? Do you laugh during that?
Initially, I'm already like crying, and then I'm like, okay, now it's a slow down. It's more of like a nose exhale. It's not a like this is hilarious. It's more of like
there you go.
They're having this conversation,
and it's like I like this. It's not like, oh, this is hilarious. There was somebody in our fucking theater laughing like this was the funniest shit they'd ever seen in their life, and I was like, I'm sorry, you're really bringing this moment down for me, man. This is sweet as fuck.
I think I'm trying to think of my theater experience. I'm pretty sure I went late. Like, I watched it first in the theater, and then my second watch was at home digitally, when I downloaded it, whatever. But the first time, I think there was, like, really barely anyone in the theater. So I didn't really have a lot of people in there.
I see, yeah.
But
I was in a pretty packed-out theater.
But the butt plug, that was the butt plug moment. There were some, like, older people in the theater at that time. And that was the loudest noticeable gasp of
it was like so funny. That's like, there are very memorable moments in the theater, and like officially one of my most memorable moments in the theater, along with like the fucking 3 Spider-Men swinging off of each other, is the guy spreading cheek for a butt plug.
Same level there. Those are exactly on the same level.
They're exactly the same. They're of the same exact worth to me.
Man, what a thing to be like, where it's the end first, whenever, like the end.
Someone straight up stood up in my movie theater and put on their jacket. I was like, you are a special type of dumb. I was like, this is an hour.
What?
I'm like, there's no way you've been watching the movie if you thought that was the end. It's been like an hour and 5 minutes at that point, and there was no resolution to whatever story was being told.
Oh, wow, that didn't happen at all. That's
and that's
insane.
the thing.
To actually think the movie's over.
It said the end, and the dude stood up, and it was like, okay, and nobody else stood up, and he kind of like looked around like, oh fuck, okay. And then he picked up his jacket and put it on and then just sat back down. So, like, I know that what went through his head was like, I got to make it look like I didn't think that was the actual end of the movie. I got to throw my jacket on and hope nobody noticed.
Oh, no.
I was like, bro, that just told me that, like, you either A, have no media literacy, or B, you just haven't been watching the movie. And frankly, I hope it's B. Like, if you watched that movie and thought that was the end, whew, you have a tough time watching things.
Yeah, because I was about to say, like, it wasn't the end, and it was so obviously not the end that I'm like, yo, wait a minute, what's going on? And then it, like, pulls out of the theater where they're in the theater, and it's like,
so
you're
meta.
also in the theater, like,
so
and you're
experience.
seeing the same view of the camera as it's being, and then you're like, whoa, like, hold on, like, I don't know.
I'm experiencing some really crazy shit right now, man. No, I absolutely get you. No, like, I remember being like,
to think that was the actual end, though, like, to be like, yep, movie's over, I'm resolved, I'm good, yeah, this great movie.
I gotta imagine dude like sat up and was like, that was a really weird fucking movie.
She stabs her husband and he dies, and then that's the end of the movie?
Like, oh, that's... Dude put something in his ass. That was crazy. Like...
Wow. Yeah, that's... Maybe he thought he was in a different universe there. He's like, I can't take this right now. Like, I'm not. Maybe I am in this other. Like, maybe I am watching the movie of the movie that I'm supposed to be watching.
God, fucking fantastic!
But wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, it's just it was a special theater experience, and you mentioned earlier that it's like The Matrix meets Ready Player One, and The Matrix was like a massive influence on this movie. The Daniels have been very outward about that. It's kind of marketed as A24's Matrix. At least it was.
Makes sense.
And with Michelle Yeoh's character Evelyn being Neo, and like a chosen one type story that we get here, which is always cool. Love a chosen one.
She even got like a little what you needed to hear at the moment. You're not the one. I need to go look for the other one. You know where there was, I mean, he actually didn't believe at that point, maybe. I don't know, or maybe it was a Morpheus moment of letting her hear what she
figure it
needed to
out.
hear, I don't know, this...
I love you.
Okay, the Raccacoonie, right? Raccacoonie. So, Wayman and Joy, they know Ratatouille. That's like, oh, you're thinking of Ratatouille. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But she's thinking of Raccacoonie because she, like, experienced that already in her brain. But, like, she still would have known. I guess she just might not have seen Ratatouille.
That's what she thought the movie was. She thought it was Raccacoonie. It's just that she just so happens to go to another universe where that's happening later on in the movie.
Oh wait, it is later.
It's later. They use
so she doesn't even see them
as a setup for a joke that they pull through later.
Okay. Oh my god. Okay, I think probably the first time I'm watching it,
we're
it was
cooking.
Oh my god.
Culinarily, family. Now we're cooking. Fucking hilarious. She's seen too much.
Oh, dude. Oh my god. That I want to see like A24 just put off like Everything Everywhere All at Once spin-offs of, just a Raccacoonie universe one, the hot dog finger, like make a TV show and have each episode just be in one universe or something, just to give like I don't know. They have built a universe that is so creative and like, I mean, literally infinite. And the people that they have in it are just so cool that like, I would love, like, I just want all the universes.
I need a Raccacoonie spinoff. No, because that's the funniest, like, that might be the funniest part of the movie. The very end when he's like, you took everything away from me. Raccacoonie taught me so much. I didn't even know how to boil an egg. He taught me how to spin it on a spatula.
And then in the meantime, you just see him in the back of Animal Control in the cage, like, no, he's just like, no.
But the way that moment can be so funny, and then like literally a second later, it brings me deeper into tears because he ends that with "I'm useless alone," and then back in the other reality, she goes, "We're all useless alone. It's a good thing you're not alone." And I'm like, fuck. Oh, and then she climbs on his head and starts controlling him. And it's like, how am I supposed to feel at any given moment? That's what's like, so fantastic. It's so like I've never watched a movie and felt the way I do when I watch this. It's just not something that's ever happened.
I usually have a word for a movie, like a single word. I just don't think disbelief covers it. Like, it's the closest thing I can get.
Shock.
Maybe speechless? Like, everything?
Everywhere?
Is that too easy?
No, that's the thing. It's all of it. It's fucking brilliant.
Oh, whenever the screen's going crazy and like she's going through like I want to like pause, like I want like that probably took so long like to do.
They just sent the visual artists. They sent Michelle Yeoh on a green screen and said, "Send us back whatever the fuck you can do."
That's sick.
Like they were just like, do anything.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
And I didn't pause, but in the live commentary, they were like, some of those things, I don't think you want to pause. I don't think you want to see what's happening there.
I have it right here. Actually,
that's fucking magnificent, and I'll be able to see it. Oh wait, no, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't see anything. I didn't see anything, officer.
Oh no, no.
Oh no.
Anyway,
I can.
I guess when was that?
It's whenever Jobu shows her literally everything right before she vomits and throws up and dies.
So this is before this.
Yeah. And it's right before that. Because that's how she dies.
But yeah, okay. Right?
No, it's a little bit before that, I guess. Regardless, though, I need to see some more of what's going on there because it's fucking hilarious and it's beautiful. Like all the flashes just feel right, you know. All the different costumes for Jobu Tupaki, and like that's one of the best things about this movie is the different costumes that they put on Jobu.
They like. I love that this is truly a movie where they had all the creative freedom. Like, it's not a multiversal Marvel movie where they have to make sure that these things happen so that the next movie makes sense and blah, blah, blah. And like, all, you know, and the multiverse is really just more of a cool thing and more of a story, like, protection thing rather than like, here's what we can do with the multiverse and like, here's what we can give you a better story through it. It's just like, it's there. So now we can make the stories more compelling. But like in this movie, they use it not as the main focus of the movie.
It's
like
a product of the events happening. It's because the characters within it propagated it. They're the ones who gave them the ability to do it at all. It's not random. They know why they can do it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of any other multiversal movie. Like, you wouldn't consider The Matrix a multiverse movie.
No, I think it would literally be like if they're like, this is the multiverse, like the Multiverse of Madness is as a multiverse movie. There's a few. I would. I've seen people put like 4 up there. I mean, Jenny Slate in this movie is fucking nuts. Her playing the chick who fights with the dog.
Oh, dude, the dog. It gets thrown into the fridge first and then yeeted across the office, and like Joy and Wayman are just sitting there. They have no idea what's going on. They just see a dog like just absolutely get
fucking nuts. Well, I guess Into the Spider-Verse, No Way Home, Multiverse of Madness would all technically be multiverse movies.
True. Oh, Spider-Verse. Yeah, Into the Spider-Verse. Okay. My 2 favorite multiverse movies. Everything Everywhere All at Once and Into the Spider-Verse. There we go.
For sure.
That's another movie that used it well. Was Into the Spider-Verse. And I guess
sure.
No Way Home is the same thing. They just copied that movie.
Not quite as effectively, though, I don't think.
Yeah, no. They tried to copy that movie and make it into live action and also flip everyone out with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, which worked, but it didn't hit like this.
No, yeah, it was cool because we knew them. If we're being like for real, if that's just like 2 random Spider-Men, which is not what the movie was made for, you know, it's just not as good.
Mm-mm.
And that's the thing. There is no prior connection to these characters. They lay it all out for you right here. They do exactly what a movie is supposed to do. They tell you a incredibly full story. Like there's so much that happens every 2 minutes in this movie that it's almost like you have to stay glued to the screen, and it's not difficult to.
Still, there's no way it was after this, right? Like, or is it right?
It was a little earlier.
Like it had, but I thought I'd been through all that. I don't know.
It's a little bit later than this.
Okay.
Keep going forward. A little bit more.
Oh, but before
I think it might be after this. I think I might be tripping. There's just so much that happens in this movie.
I know. It's so hard to pinpoint where things kind of are. Like,
because I think what caused her to collapse and die is the fact that she did all the shit in the office earlier where she was protecting her daughter for the first time instead of trying to kill her, which was an awesome development in this movie. Is that eventually she decided, I'm not facing you, I'm trying to save you.
All the end when they're sitting across the bagel and the daughter's ready to fight, and then she's just like open arms. Dude,
that was entirely Michelle Yeoh. She decided that's what she was going to do in that moment, which I think is kick ass. Yeah, Michelle Yeoh officially a favorite actress of all time. After this movie,
yeah, she's just like, now knowing that she was turned down for Kill Bill because she was too badass, it just makes sense.
Oh yeah, if you go watch any kung fu movie she is in the 90s, you're gonna be like, oh fuck, yeah, she was the baddest bitch in kung fu movies of all time because she just slayed everybody. It wasn't even close.
Damn.
Now we're cooking.
Oh, you can hear it too?
No, but I know this part very well.
Oh dang, I was gonna say, wow. You could. Never mind. That's even more impressive.
Did I say it at the same time?
Like almost near exact.
That's
yeah, it
fucking
was
nuts. I just knew that was a part of the scene.
She's seen too much. Get her. Yeah. So.
And this dude's fucking incredible at acting like he has no control over his body too. It's fantastic. I think it's after this.
That's what I was thinking. I honestly, I was just gonna let it go until it happened.
That's cool.
Then,
yeah, that's cool. I mean, yeah, I'm perfectly fine with it being there. I obviously have no beef. But yeah, I love the way they bring the old school white savior romance movie from the beginning of the movie back around and make it like showing the other people's mating ritual, in a species where they have evolved past what Homo sapiens were.
Yeah. They killed the last ape with the normal hands, and you just saw the hand like
the way they're like flinging the fingers at him. It's fucking nuts, dude.
They just got really good with their feet for everything. Like that's
played the piano.
Just a way. That's a way that it could go. You know,
outstanding.
Every little itty bitty decision. Either she sets the receipt on the left or the right side of the desk. That's all it takes. You know, like,
and all the fucking circles in this movie. We obviously kicked the movie off in a laundromat. We kicked the movie off with Joy staring at clothes spinning. Resembles the bagel hard. The heavy circle from Deirdre on the tax receipts and stuff. Like, it's just
opens up on a circular mirror, the movie, of them happy, and then cuts to them
not in there. Yeah.
This apartment.
Fucking brilliant shot, world. By the way. Just
circles were everywhere.
Oh, they're all.
I guess that's why they just chose a bagel. They're like, all right, it needs to be a circle. It also needs to be everything, so kind of like a black hole. I wonder how they were. I wonder what the click was of like, let's make it an everything bagel.
Yeah,
you can literally put everything on a bagel. Like, I get like this movie would have been so much fun to make. Like, be on the team to make this.
If for no other reason than like Jamie Lee Curtis, I think she had the most fun playing this character. More so than anybody has ever had fun playing any character. It's she's hilarious in this movie.
She gets to be an IRS agent, a sumo or like a WWE wrestler.
Is that professional wrestling? She's going for a backbreaker.
Yeah. Oh, and the exit sign save, genius. And then she gets to have hot dogs for hands and have a love story. And then she gets to be an IRS agent who introduces vaping to someone for the first time, like
the real life connections of the characters, like Deirdre is one of the most fascinating characters in this movie for that reason, for just
in another life they loved each other, so that's why they were like that's why she gave him the second chance. You don't get the butt plug award for giving second chances out,
Yeah.
But it's that connection they had in a different multiverse somewhere that she was like, you know what? All right. One more day, 6 p.m. All right, whatever. And then, he'll give us another week.
And the precursor to that moment, too, like at the beginning, Wayman kind of she's like, oh, my husband's over here probably messing things up. And she's like, I'll give you another day. You got to make it right. And then like that's the precursor moment to her granting them another week because of what he says. And it's just like, I fucking love this movie, man. God, and the fight between Evelyn and Joy at the end of the movie, taking them through every multiverse. Oh shit, sorry, with every punch was just too fucking cold. Like, that's such a hard portrayal of an action sequence.
Like, they had to make a fight flow through multiple universes and, like, still make sense. And, like, because the same things were happening, like, as Evelyn was walking back to her family, she was walking away from Joy and away from the bagel, and then Joy pulls her back, which pulls her back in that universe, but also in the bagel, so, like, everything that's happening to one is happening like, everywhere. And it's, like, not just what we're seeing on screen, but, like, also while it's off screen, it's happening in that universe too.
Yeah.
Like, right? Which is, like,
except for the universe, except for, like, this universe towards the end of the movie, we got Joy and her having a face, like, whenever they do the hard, fast, flashing fight, and then it ends with them in the parking lot just having a conversation when she's like, I wish everything would just stop. The music cuts out, everything stops cutting, and they just finally sit down and have a conversation. It's so well done.
Duh! It's when she looks into the bagel, dude, that it happens. That all the flashes and everything happen.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever, like, it's like, oh, yeah, like, I forgot. Yeah, it was like she looks into the bagel and then she sees, right?
Yeah.
I think I
right.
might have just saw it. Maybe
it's right before this, because it's what causes her to go, yeah, nothing matters.
Yeah. Okay. Bang. All right, let's. Oh, okay. Yeah. I think this
is it. Yeah.
Yeah. Here. Okay. Here we go. So we could pop. Oh, okay. Maybe not quite yet. Wait, or was that it? I feel like it was longer.
It's not. It's longer. There's a couple of them throughout the movie.
Wait, maybe then it's not in this moment. Then.
Yeah, it must not be.
God dang it! I feel like I'm just. Oh well. I'm just gonna let it play. I feel.
Fuck it. It'll do what it does. But I was wanting to hand this movie some awards for the 20s.
Most definitely.
Michelle Yeoh definitely getting nominated for Best Leading Actress of the decade, alongside Frances McDormand and Alexandra Shipp from Tick Tick Boom. I think Ki Kwan can get nominated for Best Supporting Actor for Wayman. I think Stephanie Hsu is a surefire winner for Best Supporting Actress.
Oh yeah, I mean, we have the only supporting actress we have in there right now is Vanessa Hudgens. Sorry, Vanessa Hudgens, but
Stephanie Hsu gave a career performance, one that makes me go, can't believe the MCU wasted this actress on just a side character in Shang-Chi.
Yeah. Who was she in Shang?
She was their friend. She was
the mean one that was like, get your life together. She was like her mom.
yeah. She was the one who acted like her mom. Yeah.
And then were you gonna?
And Michelle Yeoh's in Shang-Chi as well. She's Sean's aunt, the sister of his mom. Yeah. You'll watch Shang-Chi in a whole different way now too. This is just them in another life path.
Maybe. How successful was the movie? Like now, like was it like a big hit? Like for the year?
It's the biggest. It's like the best modern example of word of mouth growth a movie's experienced in a very long time. Like it's been a long time since a movie was like this. This wasn't promoted. Every time I tell somebody about it, they're like, "I've never heard of that movie." It's because you've only heard about it from people who have told you to watch it.
Maybe they knew that it was just going to happen that way. Like, it's a very unmarketable title.
Budget was $25 million. The worldwide gross was $97 million.
$97 million.
Almost $100 million movie.
Yeah, I put it in there. Costume design. for all the Joy costumes. And honestly, it includes kind of like all the. I feel like that includes the hot dog hands. And,
absolutely.
And all the
I mean, like, it wins alone off of Jobu Tapaki. Just every outfit she wears, it wins automatically. But like, there's also the fact that this has a fucking fantastic soundtrack. I have like 3 Tick Tick Boom songs on my Receiptify top 10 all time. But there is also This Is a Life by Sun Lux, which is the credit song for this movie. The boom, 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 boom. It's fucking brilliant. Is
it fair to have a musical win?
We had this conversation with La La Land, and I do think it's fair for Tick Tick Boom, just because it's just that good, and also that all the songs were actually written by the guy who the musical's about. I think that like earns it the win. I'm
comfortable there.
All right, cool. I don't think there is a best lead actor in this movie. I mean, I guess Ki Kwan would be the lead actor if we're considering like James Hong, the supporting actor, but Ki Kwan feels much more like a supporting actor to me. Because the 2 main characters are it's a stretch to call Joy supporting, like they're the lead actresses. Michelle Yeoh and Stephanie Sue,
Oh, did I? Oh, yeah. Hello.
Michelle Yeoh.
This does it require
deliberation? Okay, yes, it's one of 2. It's
Susan, you're great, and like I love you, but like you're going up against
2 of the greatest actresses of all time.
So I feel like
she gone.
I feel like it's just Michelle Yeoh.
I think so too. I needed to watch it again to be reminded. I was like, after we watched Nomadland, I was like, Frances McDormand gives a fucking incredible performance. And she, like, I would say, for me, we get to decide everything. It's not like we're held to some sort of fucking rules by the Academy. Michelle Yeoh's going to win just because I want her to fucking win. There's an excitement about Michelle Yeoh's performance of Evelyn and Everything Everywhere All at Once, something that has a lot more range, I feel like. It is a lot more fantastical, but Frances McDormand's she's being very, very real.
Yeah. It honestly wasn't even, I don't want to discredit it by saying this, but like it wasn't a performance. She was truly like in that mindset. I'm calling it not a performance, but really it was just like the greatest performance she could have given, because she was just living that life, and like it just felt like they were capturing it on camera. Which
my thing is that I love Frances McDormand's portrayal of Fern, but I simply don't love it as much as Michelle Yeoh's performance of Evelyn. Like, I'm not a critic. I have no way of being able to break you down exactly why I love that performance more. It's that I love it more. That's kind of all I need.
I guess who acted better, literally, probably Frances McDormand wins,
Yeah, but I like having fun.
Yeah. Michelle Yeoh's performance, I will remember more and has a bigger impact on me than I think the movie of Nomadland is the impactful part. Like, it's the whole movie, but like, if you take Michelle Yeoh out of here and just like, who do you even plop in? Like,
I have no idea.
I don't know. Like, oh, here it is.
Yep, we found it.
We're here.
We finally found the fast clips, everybody.
You think it was just one? Oh, wow. Do you think it was just one picture of her? It was one picture on a green screen. And they were like,
maybe like a series, like a series of pictures.
Oh, different emotions. Okay, yeah. Just ooh, I mean, some of these are just very
Goofy as
simple.
hell.
Yeah, some are very, very simple.
Some we've seen throughout the movie multiple occasions. Got
Man, some of them
repeats
are
in
very creepy. And okay.
Ooh.
Um,
Oh yeah.
okay. Yeah. So there's this. I don't know. That's
A skeleton.
they have.
Man. Yeah,
They
this
just
is weird.
what a fun move. Like she's bald with face tats and a beard. It's Michelle Yeoh. Is that still Michelle Yeoh?
It's her
Just
eyes.
Photo, like yeah.
Her eyes. It's her eyes, nose, and mouth. Yeah, that's Michelle. That's
Wow.
Michelle Yeoh. Grapes.
What? She is grapes. And a dog. And herself. And everything. But yeah, I don't know. This is what a fun movie. Like, would have been, I don't know.
Damn,
I
we
felt like I
didn't even make it through like half of that monster.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought I was near the end there for how much I like paused and stuff. Yeah, there was a lot left there.
When she just collapses into the rock.
Yeah, I'm a rock now. I take nap here.
I take nap here.
I go sleep. I mean, after that, what do you do? You know, after seeing that many versions of yourself, I think the only thing left to do is just I need a nap, and I need
to just be a rock.
Yeah. She became a rock. Another circle.
And important for me, Joy's already there.
That's true.
She's always there.
She has to be there too.
Mm-hmm.
Like
that's what's cool about this is that they're so powerful that it's not that this is just every rock has livelihood. It's that they exist in every multiverse. They just happen to be rocks.
Oh, sorry. I was a little distracted by the funniest scene in movies cinema history. Right here, I couldn't contain my laughter.
I'm sorry about ruining everything. Shh, you don't have to worry about that here. Just be a rock. And someone fucking cackled, and I was like, "That's sad." I was like, "That hurts."
Mm. Like the most you should give is a little exhale, like a
because it's a very funny way to present a conversation, just in text, no sound. Like in a movie theater, it was awesome. It would have been awesome, and it was awesome the second time I went to see it, in complete silence with a lot of people in the theater.
Yeah, you should have just been a rock too, and that.
There you go. Just be a rock for this time, for a little bit, please.
Mm.
But goddamn,
we're all small and stupid. It's just one shitty discovery after the next. I guess
we're all makes us feel like even smaller pieces of shit. And the way that comes back around at the end in the last conversation, God, it's just
you know what? There was that last little language, and then she's like, seriously, that was the only part there that was actually kind of like okay.
And then they type out, ha 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 ha, fuck.
And then they go into a very serious, heartfelt. Yeah, if someone laughed here, I don't know what to.
Dude, we could have done a live commentary of this movie. I fucking guarantee it.
Oh, this one would be.
This would be
very
a fun
easy.
live commentary.
Yeah,
we ought to do it at some point. I mean, it won't be the last time we talk this movie. I promise that. Everything Everywhere All at Once is. We'll wrap this conversation up here shortly, and we haven't touched nearly everything in this movie.
Is the dog lady? She already had a thing in her ear. It was pink. It wasn't like the same one. But she already has the thing in her ear.
It's like a Bluetooth device. Do you think it's like any Bluetooth device they can do that with?
How do they get them? Because at the beginning of the movie, Wayman runs down, and it's like they're capturing him on camera. Like they see him on the security cameras, and he just goes down. And I think that's where he gets them.
I truly think it's like if you have anything that is a Bluetooth device, they can use it.
But they all use the same exact one that looked. They all looked the same,
Questions. Questions.
Yeah, like right here. Whenever he's like flipping and running, what does he do here? He just he puts them
those in the fanny pack. Yeah.
Were those like were they always there? Was that just theirs, or did like that customer leave them there?
I couldn't tell you, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess and maybe it doesn't matter.
I don't. Yeah, like
maybe
that's the thing, though. It's like
the directors too.
We might have just found a little movie hole, like a little plot hole. They all have the same ones. Like how?
I don't know, because I was like, I don't. It's like this is the start of it all, and he's running to go grab him. Bink? Yeah, well, okay. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. No, I'm picking it apart too much. I'm doing what they don't want me to do for the movie. No, I gotta stop. I gotta just enjoy it for the story that it is, and not. That's not what they were going for.
Oh, certainly, but yeah, this is getting a nom for Best Director and Best Writer. I think it'll win one of those.
Is it both?
Both.
Call them
just
the Daniels.
Yeah, the Daniels.
I'll give them the full. They deserve their credit.
Yeah, they do. They do. But shall we throw a rating at this bad bitch?
This is the final rating. We will have the mega score, the 2020 decade score of 3.
Everything.
Yeah,
we're gonna have everything everywhere. All at once.
What a movie to end it. This was just a perfect movie to end it on.
I was so as soon as I watched it, the first time I watched it, we were already pretty deep into this project, a few 4 months in. And in fact, we record a lot of it ahead of time, so we were probably pretty deep into the project at that point. But as soon as I watched it, I was like, this is our 2022 movie. There will not be another movie that comes out this year that is as good as it. There will not be another movie that comes out this year that I enjoy as much. There is no better movie to finish this project with than Everything Everywhere All at Once.
If somehow a movie comes out that is better than this year, I won't turn it away.
No, of course not.
it is quite unlikely at this point.
If that happens, 2022 will be my favorite movie year of all time. And it's already kind of up there. The Batman, that's one of my favorite movies of all time. I fucking love Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. I fucking love Nope. Like those are all great movies.
Yeah, but nah. I haven't seen Nope yet. I love Jordan Peele. I don't think I'm gonna like it more than this one.
You won't. I'll prepare you for that. It is visually very, very. It hits right, but it's not Everything Everywhere All at Once. This is a special kind of movie, and for the last time, if you're joining us for the first time, we have 3 scores. An enjoyment out of 5 stars is just how much the movie connected with us. We got a genre score, how well the movie fulfilled its genre out of 5 stars, and then a critical score out of 5 stars, just how good is the movie. And this is the last time we're using the 5-point scale.
Yes.
After this, everything is a 10-point scale. We're doubling it up. We're doubling it up just because we feel like we are a little kind in the 5-point scale. I don't think that'll affect this. I don't think that'll affect this rating much at all.
Not by much at all. No.
If at all.
I went ahead and preemptively put 2 of them in there. I don't know if I'm wrong in doing so, but I don't feel as if I'm wrong.
You are not wrong in doing so. Enjoyment, if I could, I would make it a 6 out of 5. It's that strong of a movie. It is my favorite movie of all time. I don't have any doubts about that. It's special. In its genre, as a family multiverse drama.
IMDb calls it an action-adventure comedy.
Action-adventure comedy, sci-fi, family drama. Like, there is literally anything you can go with this movie. It is everything. It is everywhere.
It is genre-defining.
In that it is...
There's not blending. Not genre-defining. There is no
genre-breaking. Like, it's like...
Yeah. Yeah. Genre.
We do whatever the fuck we want. I go 5 out of 5 there as well. And then critically, I think it's visually very, very good. I think it is one of my favorite written movies of all time. I think the performances are exceedingly good. I'm not going to cap with you, man. It's on that level for me.
On that level?
On that level.
On that level?
On that level.
You know, because I was thinking, I'm like, Parasite was very well made, and the story was very nice.
This story is every bit as nice for me, and I genuinely love the characters I'm viewing. I cared about what happened to the Parasite family, but mostly because I was like, I gotta fucking know what happens to the Parasite family. It wasn't because I was like, oh my god, Wayman's the sweetest little sweetheart I've ever seen in my fucking life. I hope Joy and Evelyn get their shit figured out. You know, like, it's an all-time great, this movie. I have no doubts. Maybe I'm biased. Maybe I'm not. If I am, fuck it. I don't care. That's how good this movie is.
4.98 is the average, and that only ties it with The Godfather and Shawshank Redemption.
I didn't think we'd ever get another up there.
Oh,
We've gotten three very recently that were super close. We had Parasite, we had Nomadland, we had Get Out. All fantastic films. Interstellar, La La Land, all of these, top 10. Last 10 years. I'm telling you, man, the 2010s and the 2020s so far, they got it figured out.
Yeah, we are eating right
We're
now.
eating. We are eating.
We are eating and feasting, actually, I feel is more apt. I'm very grateful to be able to watch movies during this time.
To be alive.
You and yours.
Me and mine. But 4.98 out of 5 stars for Everything Everywhere All at Once, making it tied for the best movie of our project.
The
and
decade.
That topped off what became our best decade and best month yet.
Yeah. The month at a 4.91, which is, by the next is, I think, May at a 4.86. And that was My Neighbor Totoro, Dead Poets, Goodfellas, and Boys in the Hood.
What a good month. Not this month, man. This month is fucking crazy. I can't get over it, babe. We had Parasite. We had Blind Spotting. We had Nomadland. We had Tick, Tick, Boom. We had Everything Everywhere All at Once. Those are like 5 of my top 10 favorite movies of all time. Top 20. Nomadland kind of breaks the mold there. The other ones are pretty damn close to top 10.
The average score of every single movie that we covered is a 4.52.
9 out of 10, baby.
9. So we can scientifically say, over the 52 years of movies that we covered, it's about a 9 out of 10. You know, that's what I would say. 9 out of 10. I think it would be a 10 out of 10 if we just throw out Spaceballs.
Spaceballs.
I don't know. I'm curious. There's no way that one movie will tank it that much.
No,
but
I mean, Spaceballs, MASH, Scarface. Scarface was fucking terrible.
Yeah, that one. The Mask, Taxi Driver, Blade Runner, Training Day. I'm trying to find the first movie where I'm like, ooh, this one's actually good. Like I
don't think it happens till Django Unchained.
I think it's about that. Yeah, these ones are from Dumb and Dumber down. If anything's below Dumb and Dumber, it's a movie that I might watch.
But I don't have much interest. I was good with the once. But yeah, we'll relive every movie on our 52-year journey through film and officially top this project off with our ultimate award show, where we take the winners of every decade and we pit them against each other to figure out who truly was the best of the last 52 years. It will be it's going to be a ton of fun. I'm going to try and get that out Within the next, maybe, I mean, fuck it, probably tomorrow. We have plenty of time. Ahead of starting our next journey through film. Because next Friday, we ride, my friend. It's time for another journey through film. This time, comic book movie edition. We had a lot of fun talking the critically acclaimed, the non-cape shit. But we decided it's time for us to get back to what we know best now that we have, some more critical thought towards film than we did prior following this project. It'll be nice to look at the superhero movies of old and of new in a brand new light after this massive project we've just endured. We're going to do the same thing every Friday. We're going in chronological order by release, every Marvel and DC movie that has came out since 1966's Batman.
We're going before this project. 4 years before or MASH.
MASH.
I don't know why I thought Godfather was the first movie.
Next one doesn't come until the 36th Chamber of Shaolin's year, though. So yeah, I'm probably gonna make like a little trailer and post it up on the podcast page and everything. But where I will give you the list of, at the time of when we start recording, every single movie that we will discuss. And it's every Marvel and DC movie that was released in theaters. And I don't know on the Batman 66 side of things if that was released in theaters. If it was, fuck it. If it wasn't, regardless, we're starting with it. It might be the only one that breaks the mold. But everything from Batman 66 to Black Panther Wakanda Forever at the time of this, it's getting covered. It's getting covered here every Friday for the foreseeable future. This has the bones to take us for the next 2 years.
Indeed.
It's a much, much more expansive project than the one we just completed, and I cannot wait to do it.
I think this is official nerd certification. Like, I think I can officially call myself like an expert in comic, at least in Marvel and DC, after this is over.
And that was an important distinction as well. You know, there are movies based off Dark Horse. You have Hellboy and shit like that, but it starts to get pretty complicated because at what point do you consider it just like graphic novels and like just any movies based off graphic novels? And it's like, oh no, now we're getting into some really, really out there shit that, I mean, I just want a history of the characters I've known and loved for my whole life and the characters I haven't known and loved for my whole life. We got fucking Howard the Duck coming February 10th. You know, we got the Blade trilogy coming throughout coming months. We got everything.
Ben Affleck Daredevil.
Yeah, we're covering everything
Ghost
we
Rider.
love. We're covering everything we love, and we're covering everything that is absolute garbage. We're going to cover every single ounce of it.
X-Men Origins Wolverine. That's in there.
Green Lantern.
Gotta watch it.
Catwoman.
Yeah.
Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance. It will be discussed. I mean,
the Lego Batman movie.
Hey, the Lego Batman movie is exquisite.
It actually kind of fucks.
It actually kind of fucks.
Actually, not kind. It fucks.
It does fuck. It just fucks.
Yeah, it solely fucks.
It only fucks. But yeah, with some recent delays, you know, it'll this year for comic book movies will have ended with Black Panther Wakanda Forever and Black Adam. But and we can expect Across the Spider-Verse and stuff in the coming year. However, we won't cover it until we get to it. Like the comic book movies that come out in 2023 and in 2024 will not be discussed until they pop up in our chronological timeline. We'll probably cover it on Patreon. We're not idiots. We're not going to not talk about it.
It'll give us some good time to get recency bias out of the way too.
Exactly. That's
focus on the movie by itself.
Very important. I thought that was a very important, because we want to view this as critically as we possibly can. You know, I want to watch these movies and give it a rating on that same scale that we just did the 52-year journey through film. You know, I want to be able to weigh them against them and be like, well, you know what? Yeah, I truly do think Eternals is a better movie than this. You know, like I don't fucking know. It'll be interesting to see. But
See how close our
we got
tier list is. Before and after. See how.
Yeah, it'll change. It will change. We got a big list ahead. We're gonna do some comic book reading every week with it. We're gonna bring some comics that we read in anticipation of the movie, some influences on the movie, the results of the movie, how it influences comics thereafter. I think it's an important distinction as well. And I think, and Batman 66, it'll be a really fun place to start. Just a insanely fun place to start. But yeah, with that, we conclude the 52-year journey through film.
Wow,
it's bittersweet. You remember when we started this, right, Emily? Been a while. About a year. It's kind of how we did the math.
About a year. It is about it.
I mean, 52 years, 52 weeks. It was like, it feels like good math. I feel like we could make something happen there. But yeah, Penny Bloom podcast out for the year 2022, except for the good old fashioned awards for the 52-year journey through film. Not quite over. Not over till it's over. I'm holding on hard. But yeah, it'll be fun. Be there or be square. I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. And even though I'm not an expert on film in the closest, I have some knowledge now that I can
feel a little better about myself in the movie watching game. I do indeed. And who knows what's 3 years out? Who knows what we get into? Who knows what we do in conjunction with the comic book movie project? There will come a point throughout this where maybe we just go, you know what? Let's take a pause. Let's do a journey through film. I don't know, fucking Keanu Reeves edition. We just watch every Keanu Reeves movie. I don't know. I'm down for anything. Nah, we're not going to abandon the project. We'd probably just go ahead and add one alongside it because that's just kind of how we do here. We don't miss out on shit. Every Friday for the foreseeable future, the comic book movie journey through film. Head to patreon.com/CoroBloom, where I'm going to guess at this point we've got about 50 hours of exclusive content, comic book reviews, comic book pull lists every week, book reviews, movie reviews, TV show reviews. Anything that I'm not talking about on the main show, it's getting talked about over there. We covered Rings of Power on the Patreon, Shulky on the Patreon. There'll be plenty over there. So much over there on Patreon. Please, all that money helps a lot. Head to Twitter, follow at Penny Bloom Pod, follow on Instagram at Penny Bloom Podcast. I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It is always a pleasure.
And remember, peace, love, and bloom. And I wanted to say, in another life, I would have really liked just doing laundry and taxes with you.